Alright, what's going on everyone out there on YouTube? NES Ruler. Welcome to a brand new review. And this time we'll be checking out a film that was sent to me to review by Severin Films. And this movie is part of their Intervision sub-label. And you can pick this up right now on Blu-ray. It is from the year 2014, recently released in 2017. And it comes from the country of Sweden. And it is the film titled Feed the Light. Now, this is a movie when I got the press release in the mail that I definitely wanted to check out. When I saw that it was based on a story by Lovecraft, that definitely caught my interest. And what's really interesting about this movie is that it definitely has that Lovecraft story, but it's wrapped around a David Lynch type aesthetic. Very, very, very highly influenced by David Lynch. Just sound design wise, you could just listen to the movie, put on headphones and listen to it, and you could just hear Eraserhead straight out of this movie right away. It just has that background soundtrack going on that just screams Eraserhead. And it's really, really fantastic in that sense. I feel like this movie could have worked as a silent film, to be completely honest. It had that kind of aesthetic feel to it that they could have probably just cut out the dialogue a whole bunch and just added intertitles to what the characters were saying and have a really interesting throwback retro film to the silent era. I think with this kind of story, it would have really, really worked in a really fantastic way. But even so, even though they have dialogue, I still think the movie is really, really bizarre and strange. You know, it's a movie that you definitely have to see, and like Eraserhead, it's very hard to dig into that movie based on the fact that it is very subjective as what is going on throughout the film. With Henry, I think that's his character's name. I haven't seen it in a long time now, which is unfortunate. I should revisit it. But it's very similar to that sense that each person is going to have their own understanding of what this movie is about. So basically follows Sarah. Sarah is a mother who decides to go after her daughter who was kidnapped by her ex-husband. And her ex-husband brings her to this underground warehouse where there's some very bizarre, strange things going on with the light that is being fed through these weird power lines that have this very, like I said before, David Lynch aesthetic. It has a very weird sound to these power lines, so you know something is iffy. And throughout this underground warehouse, there's these janitors that are sweeping up this glitter-like substance that forms on the floor. And we learn that this glitter substance is coming from the light, and it attracts these beings from another dimension that come and sweep them. And they basically kill the people who have the glitter on their hands and transforms them to the other dimension where they ultimately meet their demise. And Sarah ultimately learns that her daughter is in this other dimension, and by talking to these other people who are cleaning up this glitter substance on the floor and one of the head honchos, she learns that the doors in this warehouse are opened by using cell phones. She gets a cell phone, goes into this alternative dimension to find her daughter. I'm not going to spoil it, and things go like on with that. It has a poltergeist type of a feel in that sense, of somebody going to another dimension to rescue her daughter. Very poltergeist-esque. But that's basically the story. It's basically just Sarah trying to rescue her daughter from this very strange and weird underground warehouse. Overall, this movie is really strange. I can't say that enough. It's a very weird movie. And there's definitely some religious undertones going on in this movie. Very low budget. I think it was shot on $14,000. Oh yeah, the movie's in black and white. The movie was shot on $14,000. From what the short interview on the bonus features with the director talks about is that they were a band of 6 filmmakers who were given $14,000 apiece. And they each made an independent feature, and this film is one of these. So very low budget, but you don't really need that in this kind of movie. You know, it has that Eraserhead aesthetic and the David Lynch aesthetic that is welcomed, in my opinion, you know, with this kind of movie and this kind of story. I think if it was shot in a higher budget way, it wouldn't have worked this well. It's just that low budget, close-up, camera shaking aesthetic that really makes the movie shine and work. And then also, I'm including in that interview, we have a making of the film, which is pretty short as well. So not the best bonus features, but they're nice to have. And then, like I said, the transfers, you know, it's supposed to be grainy and dirty and low budget, so I can knock points off for the video quality, but the sound is good. So overall, a really weird and interesting film. I would love to dig into this with Moods and JP on the podcast, because I feel like it could lead to a really, really interesting conversation about the meanings of this movie and the religious undertones and a whole bunch of other stuff that Sarah represents in this underground warehouse that's ran by this unknown entity that comes through the light. Really, really great, strange movie. So if you like avant-garde cinema, then you should definitely check out Feed the Light. I really think you would like it. I know a lot of people in the horror community are talking about this one right now. It's getting a lot of positive reviews, so I think you guys should check it out. I think it's worth it in that sense. So that is my review of Feed the Light. I recommend you guys check it out. I enjoyed it. So thanks everybody again for watching. Like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/NESRollers22. Hope everybody's doing well, and talk to you guys soon. See you guys.